Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Layla McDiva and today I am back with a video about my hand tattoo. So I pretty recently got my upper hand tattoo because I had this part, I got it last year. So I had it for a year and then I just decided that I want to add more to my hand. And I think within a few weeks I just went for it. I didn't really think about it twice. I just felt the urge to have it. I saw it on other girls and I really loved how it looks when they would talk and like you could see their hands. I just loved how it looks on them, so I just decided to book a session and add more henna styled design. Let me come closer so you can see. So yesterday I went for a tattoo correction to touch up these leaves and my finger tattoos right here. Upper ones look more faded because I did them back in October. I did a few corrections and this is it. These are very fresh, so they're much more saturated. The same goes for this leaf. So basically first I got this part, then this part, then I realized that this part was missing, so then I added the leaves here and finger tattoos over here. So now it looks very like a lot, you know. I understand that there are those who don't like the look of tattoos, especially when you're a woman. A lot of people have negative stigma when it comes to tattooed women. I don't care. I do what I want to do with my body. It's my body, my choice. So nonetheless, I'm making this video about things to know before getting hand tattoos because I didn't think about it as much as I should have. I don't regret it at all, but I only after I got it done and months passed, I just realized these are the things I wish someone told me before I got it done. So if you're watching this video and you're considering getting a hand tattoo, keep on watching because I'm gonna be honest and transparent on my hand tattoo journey. If you want to see my other tattoos, check out my tattoo tour. It will be right here. And let's begin. Okay, so first of all, I would like to highlight the very important part about getting any tattoo done is pain. This was the most painful tattoo I have ever gotten, and I have quite a few. You know, my very first tattoo was on my ribs, the place that people say is the most painful. I got it done, it was my first one, and it wasn't painful at all. Then I think pain-wise, next painful kind of area was sternum tattoo. This one did hurt, but I wouldn't say it was painful. I was always, in all of my tattoo videos, I was always saying I'm that person that enjoys tattoo pain, that doesn't feel it as pain. Like, it's just nice pain from getting work done on your body. You know, that's what I used to say. And then I decided to get my hand tattoo. This was the worst pain. This is the most painful tattoo. And as I said, I have them in a few places and nothing hurt as much as my hand tattoo. Even like getting this part done, this here didn't hurt. It's the knuckles, because if you look, I have like a tattoo right on my knuckles. This was so painful. But yesterday when I went to touch up this part and I wasn't touching this was so painful. And I just decided to say this: if you don't like pain, if you got tattoos in other areas and that was painful, this will hurt 10 times more. And I honestly, after getting it done, when I went for a correction in this part, I was like, I can't, like, I don't want to get it corrected anymore. This is not worth it. So for that reason, please consider that this is a very painful part. And I have my fingers tattooed too, but fingers didn't hurt for me personally. And a lot of people say finger tattoos are the worst. I think this area, especially knuckles, because there's not much fat. So, you know, you literally feel it under your skin, your bones, all of that. It just like, oh, it's so painful. So yeah, pain, the worst. Next thing I wish I knew before I got my hand tattooed is that this area doesn't heal as well as any other area. and the tattoo is more prone to fading. I want to show it to you closer so you can see. I think I have a photo of it when it was just done, so I'll insert it right next to it so you guys can see. If you look lower, it all healed very nicely. The problem is the upper part, the knuckle area, especially when I do this. You can see like there are many dots and many of them and lines. This line completely disappeared, like on top of this one. I don't know if you can tell. This one she touched up yesterday. This one here also, you know, kind of fading. And the worst part is these ornaments on top. As you can tell, they're very faded. So of course, if you look like this, like you cannot notice, but as I look at it more often and I compare it with all the other tattoos, this one, for example, had one correction and it looks perfect. And you know, it's like the higher up you go towards the fingers, the worse it will be healing. Also, besides the fading part, healing itself is more difficult because, you know, you're not supposed to touch your tattoo and not get it dirty, you know, and it's really hard when it's on your fingers and on your hand because you use your hands every day, you do everything with your hands. So in that sense, it's more difficult to keep it clean, but of course, like, you know, wash it and moisturize it. That's the most important thing. Don't do anything dirty, like gardening, I don't know what else. Don't do anything that will cause bacteria to spread, basically. So that is also something very important. And I feel like if you're going through so much pain, if I knew that it would be fading so much, maybe I would reconsider. And yet again, I'm not at all regretting my tattoos, but it needed to be said. Next point is, due to the placement, you won't be able to hide this tattoo. There will be a lot of attention on these tattoos because even in the winter when the rest of your body is covered, these parts are exposed. So I personally, I don't know, I didn't think about it until I started noticing how people, for example, in public transport, you know, like look at my hands and like, just, I don't know, you know, I have social anxiety, so I don't really like when people look at me, and I feel like, of course my pills help me, but it's just like people looking at my tattoos. And of course people look at tattoos. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, people look at my tattoos, come on. But it's just like this placement, like people will always be looking at your tattoo. There are other tattoos on my body that no one gets to see unless I'm you know, on the beach wearing a bikini, or it's summertime and I'm exposing more skin. But this will always be, you know, in your face, and people will always be noticing it. So that's also something probably normal people think about, but I didn't really think about it to this extent, that wherever I go, people will be noticing this tattoo. And people who have some, as I said, stigma, stereotypes when it comes to women with tattoos, they might, you know, treat you differently, which I personally don't really notice. But still, it's just like very noticeable placement. But another part of it is also because it's such a noticeable placement, it's kind of like, I love that because, you know, this tattoo is always exposed, so I'm always like, I love tattoos, I love showing them. You know, I don't get tattoos to hide them, but I also just sometimes, you know, you don't want people to look at. But sometimes when I myself like put some clothes on and then this tattoo comes through, I'm just like, oh, I have a tattoo, I'm a cool girl, you know. So it's like a boost of confidence that you're unique, you have like your tattoo, which I think the whole point of getting a tattoo is like you're trying to be unique, you know, like to create something with your body or on your body, but therefore you transform your body into this work of art. So that's also good and bad, so it depends on you. Next point also comes from the previous point, that people notice your tattoo. And for example, job hunting might be difficult. I'm lucky that I'm a freelancer, I'm a journalist and writer, as you guys know, so I don't work in an office, I am not part of corporate culture, so I personally didn't have a problem because of my tattoos to get a job, because I'm always working from home and it's not like how I look that sells me, like that gets me a job basically, but it's basically my labor that's not related to how I look. But in many places, of course, people judge you based on how you look, and I know that still there are companies that are so conservative that employees who have tattoos must hide them or don't get jobs, which is so stupid. And I really hope that there'll be less cases like that. But also, if you're young, if you're just in your early 20s, consider that, because you never know what might happen in the future. And I don't really care about it that much, but I think it's important to mention for other people who are just in the beginning of their career journey and maybe are not quite sure where they're planning to go in the future. But if you are like me, already settled, and you know this is who you are, and no matter what, you just want to be in this type of industry that is very forward thinking, I would say, and more liberal, then there's nothing to worry about. But I feel like it's important to mention this part as well. And lastly, I really don't have that much to say, but I will just say this: just because this part fades so much, be prepared for multiple corrections. So the look might not be as precise as it was in the beginning, which is the reason why I for now don't touch up the upper part of my tattoo. So I just let it be, and you know, I don't think it bothers me that much. Maybe in the future, in a few years, when it fades a bit more, I will get it touched up again. But for now, really, I'm just so tired of getting it touched up that I just let it be, and I love the result. But of course, also, I think it's important to mention that since I don't regret this tattoo, I don't want to encourage anyone to get a tattoo, especially in such a unique place as your hand. But I do want to say that I don't regret it, because as I said, whenever, even if it's winter time and you cannot see the rest of my tattoos, this one always lets you know you're talking to the cool girl, to the girl with some personal style, to the girl who is not afraid of pain. Jokes aside, I love to get tattoos, and I don't feel bad if people can see them. But in the end of my video, I don't want to stop you from going for it, because as I said, I got it done and I don't regret it. There are some things that I didn't expect to be as intense as they were. Healing part, fading part, pain part, but I still don't regret it. I love it. I think this is continuation of my personal style. This is me. My tattoos are part of me. But also this year, throughout this year, I went so crazy with my tattoos. I got so many tattoos done that now I literally have nothing to wear, because all my money goes towards investments in my tattoos. So yeah, I gotta like chill and buy some clothes so I can actually keep up with my personal style, because as I said, lately I've been just decorating my skin and forgetting about other ways to decorate myself, if that makes sense. But if you're going for your hand tattoo, please consider the things that I mentioned. Think about it twice. Make sure that you are choosing the right tattoo artist that will be able to do a good job, because this placement requires someone talented, because it will fade, it will take a while to heal, you will need a few corrections. So you want to make sure that you go to someone who is first of all going to be able to do it on your hand, because not a lot of tattoo artists actually agree to do it on your hand and fingers, but also someone who has enough experience to do a good job for your tattoo to look amazing. It's definitely not the place that you can hide, and it's a very unique placement in terms of like your hands tell the world who you are before you even open your mouth, and especially when it's tatted, you want to make sure you're represented accordingly. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click that bell to get notified about my new videos, and leave the comment down below letting me know if you have hand tattoos, if you want to get one, what do you think about the placement, and anything else related to tattoos. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I love you guys, and see you in my next video. Bye! Whoop!